Hi 4311, welcome to Writing Workshop session number 3. Take a look at the anchor chart to remind you of how good writers write. You already have jotted down your ideas. We had asked you to jot down about 5 ideas, one for each day of the week to write about. So you have your ideas. So now you're going to develop these ideas. You're going to use the anchor chart to help you write better so you can focus on the moments, small moments in your life. You remember to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. Remember to describe the people, the place, the thing, who, when, what, why, how. Remember to talk about your feelings and use dialogue. So let's get started. Today we're going to talk about the power to talk. What does this mean? This means when you're planning and rehearsing, you're doing it with your family and friends that are nearby. You're bouncing off your ideas off them. Why are we doing this? Well, we're doing this so we can have lots of different ideas. We can change our ideas. We can add on. We can edit. So here's how you may want to try this. Look over your writing from these last couple of days. Find some of the entries that's screaming out to you that's saying, pick me, pick me. Mark those entries where you could write more when you find them. And today I wanted to remind you that writers plan out their stories before drafting. They don't start writing and they don't start drafting. They have to plan first. Try rehearsing in front of your family members first. Make a quick plan and story tell it in lots of different ways, not just one way. Sound it off and try in many different ways and try new moves. And then you're going to see which one feels the best. So we may make changes. You may decide that you want a different setting. You may want to change the heart of the story, really, what the story is all about deep down. Or you may want to add some more, or maybe you want to take away something. You may want to add dialogue, small action, or internal thinking. So watch and listen as I try it with my own story. Can you think along with me? Let's do this together. So I'm going to give this a try. Why don't you think along with me as we do it together? I'm going to go back to the entry that I wrote about my sister and the iPad, this entry above. So this is the story that is standing out to me. So now before I put pen to paper, I'm actually going to start writing. I'm going to take some time. So before I start writing and putting pen to paper, I'm going to take some time to rehearse how it might go. So I'm going to do this a bunch of times. So by the time I begin drafting, the words will fly freely across the page. First, I'm going to rehearse it to get the big parts down. So let's see. My story starts with me in my living room. Maybe I just finished watching Mo Willems on YouTube and realized I don't have anything to do next. There's nothing to do, I announced to no one in particular. Today is so boring. I miss talking to Mila. So now this is the part where I get the idea to call Mila. Maybe she's free for FaceTime, I thought. I ran towards the kitchen counter. No iPad! Carly, do you know where the iPad is? I want to FaceTime with Mila. No answer. I turned towards the kitchen table. Carly was on the iPad. Last is when the problem will get worse, and then there's going to be a resolution. So here goes. Maybe it could go like this. I ran over to the kitchen table and lunged for the iPad. It's my turn, I screamed at the top of my lungs. My sister turned her back. She's always getting her way, I thought. It's not fair. Okay, now I have to solve the problem because there is a problem here. As I stood next to my sister, silently plotting my revenge, I heard Mila's voice. Huh? I thought. I looked over toward the iPad. It was Mila. I looked back at my sister. She was facing me with a shy smile. I called for you, she said. I saw how bored you were and thought this might help you perk up. Oh, I hugged my sister. And I said, let's all three of us talk together. So now I'm going to try this again. This time, I think I'll try adding in some small action. So you may want to reread my story about the iPad to get some ideas of how you can transform or resolve stories or change it or add action or dialogue. Did you notice how I did not storytell once and then draft? Did you notice that I rehearsed my story a bunch of times, changing it each time? Did you notice how I chose the version that was closest to what I really wanted to write about? Now it's your turn. You may be thinking, but what happened first? Then what happened next? Or what was your character saying? What was your character doing? As you go off to write, just wait a minute before you go off to write. Be sure to rehearse out loud how your story might go several more times, not just once, several more times. Each time you rehearse, you might rehearse with someone near you. You might record yourself and then play it back, noticing what's on. Might keep noticing what's going on. You might want to change it. You might want to phone or FaceTime with a partner to get some ideas. You may want to draft fast and furious, long and strong. So now, off you go. Get started. That's all for today, boys and girls. Hope you have a really good writing session, and don't forget all the tips that you learned today. Bye.
Thank you, Polly.